Jack stepped off the shuttle onto the soil of Vara, the air thick and sweet like eucalyptus after rain. The planet hummed with energy, towers of crystal scraping the purple sky. He was the first human exchange student here, picked for his smarts in tech from back home in Sydney. At 22, Jack had sun-bleached hair, a faded footy jersey, and a backpack stuffed with snacks and a multi-tool. "Not bad," he muttered, kicking a pebble that floated up like magic. The Varans waited in a line, their tall frames casting long shadows. Blue skin shimmered under the dual suns, eyes like polished opals glowing with curiosity. They were advanced, or so they thought, masters of quantum drives and neural webs. Humans, primitive apes playing with fire, that's what their scans said. The lead Varan, Elder Lyra, stepped forward. Her voice echoed in Jack's mind link implant, smooth as silk. "Welcome, Terran. We honor your species' enthusiasm. Follow to your quarters." Jack grinned, tipping an imaginary hat. "G'day, folks. Name's Jack. Cheers for the lift." He followed, eyes wide at the hovering walkways and walls that shifted like living water. Drones buzzed around him, scanning him, but he waved them off like flies at a Barbie. His dorm was a pod of soft light, with a bed that molded to his shape and a console blinking in alien script. The Varans had prepped it simple, assuming he'd fumble. "Adapt or fail," Lyra's voice chimed. "Your first lesson begins at dawn." Jack dumped his bag and eyed the food replicator, a sleek orb pulsing blue. "Rada, what's for Tucka?" He poked at the controls, the implant feeding him basic commands. No worries, he thought. Back home, he'd fixed lawnmowers with duct tape. This was just a fancy microwave. He selected nutrient paste, but his fingers slipped on the intensity dial. The orb whirred, then roared. Red sauce erupted like a geyser, splattering the walls in fiery globs. Alarms blared, lights flashing crimson. Jack jumped back, sauce dripping from his hair. "Whoa, that's hot!" The door hissed open. Two Varans rushed in, faces twisted in alarm. One slipped on the slick floor, crashing into the console. The other waved a scanner, voice sharp in his mind. "Containment breach. Evacuate the human." Jack wiped his face, chuckling through the sting. "Easy, mates. Bit of spice never hurt. Tastes like Mom's vindaloo." He grabbed a glob on his finger and licked it. Needs salt, though. The Varans froze, their glowing eyes dimming in shock. No Terran should laugh at disruption. Their perfect order, centuries without a spill, cracked like the sauce on the floor. Lyra arrived, her presence a cool wave. "This is unacceptable. Restrain the device." As they mopped, Jack lounged on the bed, watching. "You lot run a tight ship. Back home, we'd call this a party starter." He noticed their glances, wary now, not smug. Good, let them sweat. That night, as the pod dimmed, Jack fiddled with the console. The implant let him peek at the network, a web of data streams. Most was boring, crop yields, star charts. But one signal pulsed odd, hidden behind firewalls, encrypted, jumping like a kangaroo on hot coals. "What's this?" he whispered. "Invasion codes? Nah, too paranoid." But it felt wrong, like a storm brewing over the outback. He closed the link, mind racing. The Varans thought him a curiosity. Tomorrow's lesson would show them different. Jack smiled in the dark. Bring it on. The first sun rose, casting golden beams through the crystal walls. Jack met his guide, a young Varan named Kale, in the central hall. Kale's skin rippled with nerves, eyes flicking to Jack's sauce-stained shirt. "Elder Lyra insists on protocol. You will observe our harmony sphere." The sphere was a dome of swirling lights, Varans floating in trances, minds linked in perfect sync. Jack strapped in, the chair humming against his skin. "Feel our unity," Kale urged. The link flooded his thoughts, calm equations, shared visions of stars. But Jack's mind wandered. He pictured a Sydney beach, waves crashing, mates yelling over a cold one. The link glitched, static buzzing. Varans nearby twitched, breaking formation. Intruder thought form, someone yelped mentally. Kale unstrapped him fast. Your brain, it disrupts, like sand in gears. He shrugged, hiding a smirk. Sorry, mate, we humans multitask. Ever tried thinking about footy skulls mid-yoga? Word spread quick. By midday, Lyra summoned him to the council chamber, a vast room of hovering thrones. 5 elders sat, faces stern. Turin Jack, your presence sows discord. Explain the signal you probed. His gut twisted. Cult already? Just curious, your highness, so a blip looked fun. Lyra's eyes flared. Fun? Our net is sacred. You glimpse the sentinel, our defense web. Leave it, or face isolation. He nodded, playing dumb. But as he left, Kale trailed, whispering, They're scared. No one's poked sentinel since the old wars. What are you really? Jack clapped his shoulder. Kale flinched at the touch. Just a bloke from down under. But if your sentinel's twitchy, maybe it's time for a checkup. That evening, alone again, Jack pulled his multi-tool. It had a basic hacker chip, jerry-rigged in his garage. He jacked into the console, bypassing the crude blocks. The signal unfolded. Coordinates, fleet manifests. Not defense, offense. Earth glowed red on a holomap, marked Annex. Bloody hell, Jack breathed. The Varans weren't hosting for peace. They were scouting. And he was the perfect spy, small, overlooked. He yanked the plug, heart pounding, time to play dumb louder. But deep down, the Outback fire lit. No one mucked with his home. The Varans didn't waste time. Darn's light barely touched the towers when Kale arrived, face pale blue. The elders demand proof. You face the orb of insight today. His mind voice trembled like a kid facing a bully. Jack stretched, cracking his neck. Obey, sounds like a pug trivia night. Lead on. They walked silent through the city, platforms gliding smooth. Varan stared now, whispers rippling like wind. Jack caught snippets. Disruptor. Unpredictable. He winked at a cluster of young ones who scattered giggling. The test chamber loomed, a cavern of black stone veined with light. In center floated the orb, fist-size, swirling greens and golds. Elders ringed it. Lyra fronted. This device reveals truth, intoned she. Solve its riddle, prove your mind worthy. Fail, and exchange ends. Jack eyed it, scanned said logic, but he smelled a trap. Fair dinkum, what's the go? Kale strapped him in, tendrils linking to his implant. The orb pulsed, flooding visions. Mazes of code, shifting like sand dunes. Navigate to core, the elders pushed. Jack frowned, sweat beading, looked like quantum chess, moves branching infinite. Back home, he'd ace algorithms, but this twisted space-time, he poked mental paths, each collapsing wrong. Minutes ticked. Elders leaned in, smug returning. Primitive limits, one sneered. Majak grinned. Screw logic. He shook the link, rattling like a stubborn vending machine. Focus shattered, maze glitched, path snapping straight. The orb chimed, blooming light. A hollow map ejected, Vara's undergrid, power nodes exposed. Gasps echoed. Lyra's eyes widened. Impossible, none solve in under cycle. You brute forced it. Call it intuition, love, Jack said, unstrapping. Sometimes you gotta give it a nudge. Kale stared, odd. The map shows vulnerabilities. We guard those fierce. Jack pocketed the data ghost in his implant. Quick copy. Oops, my bad. But elders buzzed angry. He glimpsed too much. Quarantined the Terran. They marched him to a feast hall instead, testing social. Long table groaned with crystal fruits, glowing meats. Varans ate precise, no mess. Jack sat, stomach growling. Share our bounty, Lyra said. Bond or break. Jack speared a wiggling thing, tasted like jellyfish, bland. He chewed polite. then pulled his tin from backpack. Reckon you lot need flavor. Troy Vegemite, Aussie Secret. He smeared black paste on a cracker, handed to Kale. The Varan nibbled, face crumpling. Salt, yeast, horror. He spat, retching. Table erupted, Varan's fleeing, gagging. Lyra stood, furious. Poison, you sabotage. Nah, just a quiet taste, Jack laughed, munching his, builds character. Chaos reigned, cleaners swarmed, elders purged the hall. Jack slipped away amid fuss, ducking to shadows. In a side alcove, he patched his phone, smuggled brick, to implant. The map loaded, nodes ripe for tweak. He coded quick, a loop to ping weak spots. Send. A distant hum faltered, city lights flickered brief. Jack slipped through the chaotic Varan bazaar, the cloaking gadget humming softly on his belt. Stalls glowed with hollow gadgets, and the air buzzed with alien chatter. His hoodie hid his face, but his heart raced like a dingo on the hunt. The Varans were in a frenzy. Drones zipped overhead, scanning for the Terran ghost. Jack ducked behind a crate of glowing fruit, catching his breath. The stolen data in his phone burned a hole in his mind. Earth, targeted. He had to warn home. He spotted a Varan comm tower across the square, its spire pulsing with signals. If he could hack it, he'd ping Earth. Problem was the guards, 6 of them, blue skin glinting, armed with stun rods. Jack grinned. Piece of piss. Cloaked, he wove through the crowd, dodging a drone scan by inches. At the tower base, he crouched, pulling his multi-tool. The panel's lock was digital, but he sparked it open with a rewired pin. Inside, wires and crystals hummed. His phone synced to the system, implant translating code. He sent a burst message. Earth, Varan invasion incoming, prep defenses, Aussie out. The tower sparked, alarms shrieking. Breach! Secure comms! A guard's mind voice blasted. Jack bolted, cloak flickering as its battery drained. He tossed it, sprinting toward the spaceport's glow on the horizon. The Varans were fast, their hover pods closing in. Jack zigzagged through alleys, leaping stalls like hurdles at a footy ranch. He reached the spaceport's edge, a sprawl of sleek ships under a dome. Guards patrolled, but chaos from the grid hack had them scattered. Jack slipped into a hangar, eyeing a small scout ship. Nimble, built for speed. You'll do, he muttered, climbing in. The cockpit was a maze of hollow controls, labels in Varan script. His implant buzzed, half translating. Start button, there. He slapped it, engines whining. A guard spotted him, raising a rod. He slammed the throttle, ship lurching forward, scraping the hangar wall. Sparks flew, but he was out, soaring into Varan's purple sky. Pursuit pods screamed behind, beams grazing the hull. Jack swerved, cursing, like dodging rules on the highway. He flicked switches, hoping for weapons. A screen flashed, pulse array online. He hit it, a shockwave rippling back. The pods wobbled, one crashing into a tower. Jack laughed, but fuel warnings blinked. The ship wasn't built for long hauls. Earth was light years off. He needed a plan, fast. Below, Varaz City dimmed. His grid hack still stung. Ahead, a human outpost signal pinged, faint but real. Close enough, he growled, setting course. As stars streaked by, Jack's mind churned. The Varans underestimated him. Big mistake. Humanity wasn't just muscle. It was grit, chaos, and a bloody good laugh. Jack's stolen ship rattled, warnings flashing red across the hollow screen. Fuel was low, and Varan's pursuit pods were gaining, their sleek forms cutting through the void. He patched his phone into the ship's system, its crude human code clashing with Varan tech. "Come on, you beaut," he muttered, uploading a virus he cooked up for a uni prank. It looped junk data, jamming the pod's sensors. Their beams went wild, missing wide. The outpost signal grew stronger, a human mining rig on an asteroid belt. He aimed for it, dodging debris like a surfer riding waves. The ship groaned, but he coaxed it forward, whispering, "Hold together, mate." He landed hard, skidding across the asteroid's surface. Miners in exosuits rushed out, weapons raised. "Oi, friendly!" Jack yelled, hands up, stumbling from the cockpit. A grizzled captain scanned him, then grinned. "Aussie, what's a bloody student doing in a Varan ship?" "No time," he panted, handing over his phone. "Varans are coming for Earth. Invasion plans. Check the data." The captain's face darkened as he scrolled. "Bastards. We'll relay this to Earth Command." Jack dotted, catching his breath. But Varan wasn't done. A hollow feed from the ship crackled. Lyra's face icy. "Terran, return. You've caused enough disorder. Surrender or Earth pays." Jack smirked. "Tell you what, Blue, fix your tech first." He cut the feed, then turned to the miners. "Got any spare ships? Gotta get home." They rigged him a cargo hauler, slow but tough. As he boarded, a miner tossed him a comm unit. "Warned Earth, they're gearing up. Good on you, kid." Jack launched, the asteroid shrinking behind. Varan's pods were gone, likely limping from his hack. But he wasn't safe yet. The hauler's nav showed Earth weeks off. He'd need every trick to make it. Back on Vara, Lyra faced the elders. "The human exposed our plans. Invasion is compromised." Murmurs rose. Fear, not smugness. Jack's chaos had cracked their perfect order. They voted delay the attack, study humans more. One human did this. Billions, unthinkable. Jack, alone in the hauler, grinned at the stars. "Underestimate us, and you're stuffed, mates." The hauler chugged through space, its engines coughing like an old ute. Jack kept the comm unit on, scanning for Varan signals. A blip appeared, fast movers closing in. "Bloody persistent," he muttered, checking the ship's meager defenses. One pulse cannon, half charged. Better than nothing. 3 Varan pods broke from hyperspace, sleek and deadly. Lyra's voice boomed through the comm. "Terran, land on the nearest rock. Last chance." Jack leaned into the mic. "Nah, mate, you picked the wrong bloke to mess with." He cranked the hauler's thrusters, diving toward a nebulous dust clouds. The pods followed, firing stun beams. Sparks danced across the hull. He activated the cloaking gadget, barely juiced, but enough to blur his outline. The pods hesitated, sensors confused. Jack used the moment, rewiring the cannon to overload. "Eat this," he growled, firing a wild pulse. It hit a pod, sending it spinning into the nebula. The others closed in, tighter. Jack ducked behind an asteroid, crates tumbling in the hold. He grabbed one, rigging it with a battery from his multi-tool. Boom time. He jettisoned it, the crate sparking as it floated. A pod fired, detonating it. Shrapnel battered their shields. Jack gummed the hauler, breaking free. Lyra's voice returned, colder. "You cannot outrun us, human." "Watch me," he shot back. He punched the nav, spotting Varan's grid signal, still weak from his hack. He sent a final virus targeting their pursuit network. Pods froze, lights dimming. The hauler limped to the outpost's range.